Hi dear students, dear friends, welcome to Gallant IAS, and this is our Let's Score 120 Plus in Prelim series. Here we are solving a good number of UPC standard potential questions to clear prelims examination. We know that there are some core subjects in the prelims examination like history, economy, geography, polity, environmental science, and of course current affairs. Majority questions are always asked from these subjects only, and you know the proven strategy of clearing prelims, that is nothing but solving maximum number of questions, as many as possible. Solve maximum number of questions and you attempt maximum number of mock tests. Mock test I mean, maximum number of mock test I mean, the standard test I mean. Sometimes when you attempt a standard test, you may feel that your score is very below. Next time also you may feel your score is very below. Or maybe third time also your score will be below 50 or below 40. Don't lose your confidence. Try to repair yourself. Try to understand what is actual problem with you. Maybe you are continuously making conceptual errors. That means your concept side is so weak. Be strong in the concepts. Sometimes you are making silly errors just because of the carelessness. So repair your carelessness. So after every exam, go for a self-assessment, find out your problems and find out the solutions to your problems, stick on to your strategy and constantly focus on improving yourself. You practice maximum number of questions. You must have perseverance, patience, you must have that smart, hard-working strategy and of course a good number of practices. I mean practicing of the questions, that matters a lot. Stick to some standard test series only, but practice maximum number of UPC standard questions because it's a proven strategy by many toppers. Okay, so this here we are solving history questions. We are mastering history. Okay, since it is one of the core subjects, we are solving. And to watch the session till the end, if you yet to subscribe our channel, please do subscribe our channel for more videos and for more support. With reference to early nationalists, which of the following statements is or are not correct? Usually many aspirants, they become blind with the word not. The question is asking for not correct and eventually they will end up with correct statements. They will pick the correct statement. They were supposed to pick the not correct statement, they are picking the correct statement. That is called carelessness. This carelessness can be repaired only after practicing lots of same type of questions here. Yeah, they are asking regarding early nationalists, which of the statements not correct? First one, they trained people in political work and helped to spread the modern ideas. This is their biggest contribution here. When you think about the moderates, their biggest contribution was they spread the message of economic nationalism. They created political awareness, okay, through their speeches and their pamphlets and campaigns. See, they created mass awareness, political awareness. They created economic nationalism. The spread of awareness, that was their biggest contribution. First statement is obviously a correct statement. Then see, so you can eliminate choice A and D. Since they are asking for not correct one, first statement is correct, you are eliminating A and D. Now you have to find out whether second statement or third statement correct or not. They lacked political faith in the masses. That is true statement. Again, it is a true statement. They have no faith in the capacity of masses. These moderates, they focused on, there is a concept called a prayer petition protest method. On Christmas holidays, every year on Christmas holidays, there will be Congress annual sessions. For 5 days, these dignitaries will be gathering, they are delivering speeches and they are sending resolutions to this British East India Company and the program is over. No mass based programs, no non-cooperation, no boycott, no Swadeshi, nothing is there. So they focused on creating mass awarenesses and they had no faith in this capacity of the masses. No such mass participation based programs they organized. Okay, so second statement is also correct. Then your answer obviously Yeah, third must be the not correct statement, because we understood first and second statements are correct, then the not correct has to be third. They received a strong support from United Indian Patriotic Association. We know that United Indian Patriotic Association, that is by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, who was against Congress, because he believed Congress is a majority Hindu organization. So most of this organization will serve the demands, requirements, aspirations of this Hindu majority. Muslims will be ignored. That is why Sir Syed Ahmad Khan initially believed in this active collaboration, cooperation between Hindus and Muslims. But later, when Indian National Congress was founded, when he thought that this organization is a Hindu majority organization, which will give representation, or which will demand for this reservation representation for Indian Hindus, thinking so, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan opposed to Indian National Congress, and he extended his loyalty to British, because he believed by extending loyalty to British, Indian Muslims will be getting more reservation representation in the government sector, employment, education, etc. That way, yes, Muslims can uplift themselves. That was his thought. So anyway, United Indian Patriotic Association, it's a Hindu-Muslim association which is against Indian National Congress. It opposed Indian National Congress. Okay. So third is the not correct statement. It never supported, it opposed these moderates, it opposed Indian National Congress also. So your answer has to be 3 only. Moving on to the next question, permanent settlement. With the permanent settlement, company lost all contacts with the peasants who are now at the mercy of the zamindars. Exactly, it is true. British land revenue policies are important for you. There is permanent settlement, okay. There is Rayotwari settlement, and there is Mahalwari settlement. Okay, permanent settlement, Rayotwari settlement, Mahalwari settlement. In permanent settlement, Zamindar is the king, or Zamindar is the owner of the land and he is the revenue collector. Rayotwari, Rayot or the peasant is the owner of the land. Mahalwari, the entire village is responsible for collection and payment of land revenue. Now here, under this village headman. Now here, under permanent settlement or sunset law, this was introduced by Cornwallis, 1793. This is in Bengal, Bihar, Odisha region. So under this system, Zamindar is owner of the land, he is the collector of the revenue, and the peasants or farmers were totally left at the mercy of the Zamindar. He is responsible for collection of revenue and payment of a fixed revenue to British, and the surplus can be kept with himself. Rayotwari, Rayot is the responsible person for the payment of revenue to British. But British periodically, annually revised the revenue, increased the burden of the Rayot. He has to pay the revenue, otherwise his land will be confiscated. Under Mahalwari, village is responsible for payment of revenue to British. Now see, with the permanent settlement, company lost contacts with the peasants who are now at the mercy of Zamindar. Exactly, company has no direct contact with the peasants. Yes, the peasants were responsible to Zamindar. They must pay to Zamindar. Zamindar will pay to this British. Okay. First statement is correct. The fixation of revenue was done on a scientific basis. Yeah, if anything done on a scientific basis, then there should not be any revolt. There should not be any rebellion. Simple logic, common sense we are applying. If it is on scientific basis, if it fulfill the requirements of the people, then what is the need for a revolt or rebellion after this settlement? After the settlement, it was full of rebellions, full of revolts. It was not done on scientific basis. Zamindars were auctioned for non-payment of revenue, and this encouraged a new group of people to become Zamindar. When the traditional Zamindar is unable to make the payment on or before the deadline, see what happens, his land will be confiscated, it will be put on auction, and new Zamindars will be coming on the scene. Okay. That is why many ruined Zamindars were also part of 1857 revolt against British. Now here, correct statements are asked. Let me tell you, all the three are correct, all the first and third statements are correct statements. Fixation of revenue was not on a scientific basis. It was not at all scientific from the side of British East India Company or Zamindar or the peasant. Okay. Second is wrong statement. First and third are correct statements here. Your answer is A, 1 and 3 only. Which of the following features of subsidiary alliance system? Subsidiary alliance system, you know, this is introduced by Wellesley. Basic intention was, it is to extend their colonialism. extend their colonialism, imperialism. This is to extend this territorial reach of British East India Company. Okay, that was subsidiary alliance system signed with the Indian princely states. According to subsidiary alliance system, if any Indian princely state signed this treaty, he has to accept the sovereignty of the British East India Company. He has to dissolve his own army, and on his territory British troops will be stationed, and this princely state ruler is supposed to like make their annual payment to maintenance, etc. An annual amount he has to pay to British East India Company for granting these British troops at his territory, and this military power and foreign affairs power of that princely state ruler will be gone forever. That means he cannot sign any treaties with other Europeans or other Indian powers. He always has to take the permission from the British East India Company. At his residence, a British resident will be stationed at his court also. Okay, so all his powers are subjugated to British. Military and foreign affairs are subjugated to British. Indian ruler entering into subsidiary alliance with the British had to dissolve his own armed forces. Yes, his offense power is gone forever. He has to accept the British troops, he has to disband, he has to cancel his own armed forces. Indian rulers also had to pay for British army's maintenance. Yes, Indian ruler had to pay. He had to pay for British troops maintenance. Also, he had to pay annual tribute to British also. British promised non-interference in the internal affair of the Indian states. They said so, but actually it not happen like that. They always interfered. Indian state could not enter into any alliance with other foreign powers. Yes, their foreign powers and military powers are submitted to British. Without a British consent, they cannot negotiate with other Indian powers. They cannot sign treaties with other Europeans. Okay, even they cannot employ other Europeans. So here your answer is all the four are correct statements only. All the four statements are correct only. Your answer is Delhi 1, 2, 3, 4. Rather than solving this, you try to understand these concepts, try to revise these topics which is important for you, and this is the way UPSC will be framing questions out of these topics. Now there is revenue settlement system, it is about Rayotwari. Rayotwari introduced by Cornwallis in 1793, wrong. Rayotwari is introduced in 1820, that is by Thomas Munro, and that was modeled on these Alexander Reid's reforms. Okay. Now here Rayotwari related to Thomas Munro, that was introduced in Madras and this Bombay and Assam and Coorg regions. Okay, Rayotwari was introduced in Madras, Bombay, Assam and Coorg regions. Permanent settlement was in Bengal, Bihar, Odisha. Permanent settlement was introduced, or Zamindari system was introduced through Permanent Settlement Act 1793 by Lord Cornwallis. Okay, Bengal, Bihar, Odisha region. First statement is wrong. Rayotwari settlement was introduced in provinces of Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, Varanasi, wrong. That is Zamindari settlement. Zamindari was introduced in Bengal, Bihar, Odisha. In Rayotwari system, ownership rights were handed over to peasants. That is true. Rayotwari is true. In Rayotwari, ownership rights were handed over to peasants. That is true, which was introduced in Madras or Bombay or Assam, Coorg regions by Thomas Munro. But Zamindari introduced in Bengal, Bihar, Odisha. Zamindari was introduced by Cornwallis, Lord Cornwallis under 1793 Permanent Settlement Act, Zamindari settlement, where Zamindar is the owner and collector of the revenue. He is the owner of the land, collector of the revenue. Zamindar. Under Rayot or peasant is the owner and collector of revenue, owner of land and collector of revenue. So first statement is correct, sorry, it is wrong statement. First statement is wrong statement. Second statement is wrong statement. Third statement is the only correct one. So your answer has to be, they are asking for not correct. Again, don't be blind. See, read it. Which of the statement above is or are not correct? You have to pick the not correct one. So you know that first and second statements are not correct. Your answer has to be 1 and 2 only. 1 and 2 only. 1 and 2 only. So here, this is very important here. When it comes to prelims, objective type questions are there. And what must be the most important thing is, yeah, you must be smart enough to pick the most appropriate answer. Answers are given and select the most correct one. This is your challenge, and for which you must have a good practice here. Don't lose your confidence and don't spoil your preparation. Be consistent with this taking test and solving questions. and solve good number of questions. Be clear with these ideas of solving. There is no hard rules for solving previous questions. You can follow any strategies. Any strategies, at the end of the day, you must reach out to the correct answer. Okay. So be trained in selecting the correct answer out of the 4 choices given, for which good practice is required. And Gallant IAS is always there with you. More programs will be coming up. So stay tuned, stay in touch with us. Also, if you like this session, please subscribe our channel, share with your friends. What all your valuable feedback, just leave in the comment box. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Bye.